When Dr. Stephen Strange meets America Chavez, a young girl being pursued by magical threats, he takes it upon himself to protect her. After thinking the aid of one Wanda Maximoff would be a benefit, Strange and Chavez soon find themselves on a trip through the madness of the multiverse. This is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Groovy.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the latest film from the MCU, the sequel to 2016's Doctor Strange, and the latest film from director Sam Raimi. That was a bit of a mouthful. It's extremely funny to me to think that Spider-Man had an entire trilogy before Doctor Strange got a sequel. It is pretty funny, is it not? I am not embarrassed to say I adore the MCU. I have loved these movies since 2008, and I will continue loving them no matter what anyone tries to tell me on the internet. They definitely have their bumps, but overall, I adore the franchise. And their latest entry with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is no different. This is a fun, action-packed film full of amazing characters and amazing performances, but the biggest standout to me was Sam Raimi in the director's chair. This is a Sam Raimi film through and through, and I adored it. Once again, playing the role of Doctor Strange is Benedict Cumberbatch, and man, what else is there to say about his performance other than he is literally perfect as this character? Once again, his performance in this film is just phenomenal. This was a casting choice I was all for before he was even cast, and man, it's paid off in spades to me. Any actor that can do hand gestures like this and make it seem cool and awesome is a good actor in my book, and man, he definitely delivers on that. Playing a new addition to the MCU hero roster is Xochitl Gomez as America Chavez. Now, I'll admit, I don't know much about this character. I think she's one of the newer characters in the comics, and a lot of the newer stuff is just kind of to me. But the MCU has a great track record of introducing characters that I'm not the most familiar with. Xochitl was great in this movie. I really enjoyed her dynamic with Strange, and overall her character was just really interesting too. Had you shown me this character and told me to guess her power, I would have not have guessed what her power was. And it's a pretty damn cool power. Welcome to the MCU, Xochitl. But I feel the MVP of the movie is not Cumberbatch or Gomez, but it's the return of Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. I can't get too deep into her performance out of fear of spoilers, but oh my god, she's phenomenal in this movie. If you loved her performance in WandaVision, you are going to love her performance in this movie even more. Speaking of WandaVision, I was really worried when Marvel and Disney announced they were going to be making TV shows that directly impact the future MCU movies. I felt that was going to become too overwhelming in a way. And even after WandaVision came out and I really enjoyed it, I was still a bit worried, but I was really impressed with how they bridged WandaVision to this film. I feel fans of WandaVision are going to be greatly satisfied, and fans of Doctor Strange are going to be greatly satisfied too. The biggest draw and the announcement that pumped my hype back up to 11 after Scott Derrickson left was the announcement of Sam Raimi taking up the director's chair for this movie. Sam Raimi has already had his hand in making some superhero movies. I'm sure you've heard of them. And no, these are not MCU movies. They are MCM movies. Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. There is a difference. But I was greatly excited to see what he would do with this film, and man, he delivered on all fronts. Disney let Raimi go Raimi, and it paid off. This is a weird, odd, kooky, strange movie. But also, it's kind of scary, which is exactly what I expected from Sam Raimi. To be quite honest, this film had me on the edge of my seat tense more times than a R-rated horror film has in a good while. For no reason other than the fact that with Marvel and the multiverse, the limits are endless. Literally anything can be thrown at you, and a lot is thrown at you at once, and it's almost overwhelming in a way, but it was Sam Raimi in every sense of the word to me. Also, this film's scarier and has objectively more blood than both Venom films and Morbius combined. A film that's going to be on Disney Plus outdid 3 films that are probably never going to be. You know, Disney Plus. So you can watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and then go straight into Doc McStuffins. I have my words on streaming, but that concept just makes me laugh. If the MCU Blade movie is able to have as decent of scares and brutal kills as this movie, I'm content with that PG-13 rating. Once again, the visuals of this film are phenomenal. It would be depressing to see a Doctor Strange film and not have mind-bending visuals throughout it. I actually missed seeing the first Doctor Strange film in 3D, and I have to say, I really wish I did. My screening of this movie was not in 3D, but I am strongly considering going to go see it again in 3D. It's a shame that this film will probably lose Best Visual Effects to the film whose trailer played before this film. Nonetheless, I love the effects in this movie. There was a lot of talk online about rumored cameos and appearances in this film, and while this film definitely has its surprises and definitely has its satisfying surprises, it's not as cameo-filled as one may hope. I was not hoping that at all. What made Spider-Man No Way Home so special to me is that they treated these characters as if we haven't seen them for the period of time that we literally haven't seen them. Personally, I didn't want this film to be pulling in everything from everywhere and throwing it in all at once. Luckily, Kevin Feige and the rest of Marvel Studios knew that. The surprises are reserved, respectful, and they don't feel too forced, and I greatly appreciate that. In the end, this is exactly what I wanted from a Sam Raimi-directed Marvel Cinematic Universe film. This film may not be for every fan of the MCU, definitely not for little kids, but overall, it was the exact film I wanted, and I'm greatly appreciative for it. Before we wrap up, I have an announcement to make. In honor of this being my 20th review, and that's kind of big, I never committed to 20 anythings in my life. I thought I would do a giveaway. If you want to win a digital copy of Spider-Man No Way Home, the film that leads into this film, please hit that subscribe button and please leave a comment telling me that you did so. Also, tell me what your favorite MCU movie is so far. You got 28 of them to choose from. The winner will have been chosen and have their digital code by the next time the next review drops. So please enter and good luck to all. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button and be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when my next review drops. Until next time, I'm Quint Dunaway. Hoping you will keep it cinematic. No spoilers, but it was a smart idea to release this movie on Mother's Day weekend.